Hey y'all, so I'm doing a Christmas nail set and it's going to be, I guess, like a winter wonderland theme because I'm using some snowflakes and I'm also going to attempt an icicle nail. So we'll see how this goes. I've done it before, but not successfully, so we'll see. So I'm going to start on the ring finger and I'm taking my Modelones 2-in-1 white acrylic powder in number 82 and I just place that bead at the cuticle area and I'm just bringing that bead down. I'm patting it and getting it into the general shape that I'm going for. I'm going to be creating a French nail, and once I have it into the general shape, I'm going to give it time to kind of semi-dry, and then I'm going to come in with my French nail cutters. Now I have dipped these nail cutters into my clear acrylic powder and then I went in and made my cut. You also see that I'm going to come in and on the sides I'm going to take out a little bit as well. When you use the nail cutters, don't just, go off of the cut. You have to fit it to the nail. So that's why I'm going in and I'm taking out some of the sides. So once I have the cut made, I'm going to come in and just scrape that extra product off. You don't want to leave none of that product there. Now once I do that, I'm going to just let that dry so I can come back and file it. So all of these powders that I'm using in this video is Modelones. They're acrylic powder, and this specific one is number 8 and it is a very sheer turquoise kind of bluish color, and I wanted it specifically for that reason. I'm also going to come in with another Modelones color, and it is in number 27. It is their glitter, and it matches so perfectly with this color. So ever since I swatched it, I was like, I need to use this in combination with each other because I just feel like it'll go perfect together. So that's what you see me doing. I applied a thin base and then I'm going to go on top with the glitter. Now for the pointer finger, I'm going to come in with some chunky glitter, and I'm just going to take that glitter and spread it across the nail. I don't want it full coverage. I still want you to be able to kind of see some clear peeking out through the bottom. I'm also going to take that glitter that I used on the pinky and apply just a little bit of that. Now I'm going to come in and I applied a clear base, and now I'm going to add my snowflakes on top. Now, when you encapsulate these snowflakes, they are so flat that they tend to stick up, and it makes it very difficult for you to encapsulate. So to kind of curve that, all I did was take the snowflake and kind of bend it through the center. When you do that, it kind of forms better to the nail, and you're going to be able to press that snowflake down. So that's what you see me doing there, just pressing my brush down and really patting that snowflake in. So now I'm going to come back to the ring finger and I'm just going to sharpen up that wall. Now once I have it all sharpened, I'm going to dust away any of that dust, and then I'm going to come in with my second color, and it is also Modelones number 9, and it's just a really pretty baby blue. So I'm going to apply that. I'm going to press it up against the wall. I'm going to bring it up on the sides and make sure that I have it all tucked in. Now when it comes down towards the tip, I still want to be able to see kind of that clear tip. So once I have it down towards the tip, I'm going to take my brush and I'm just going to swipe away the excess. So so that way I can kind of, leave that tip just a little bit clear. Not a lot, but just a little bit. So I'm going to make sure that I clean that up, clean off any of that excess, and then I'm going to brush that product back so I know that it is pressed up against those walls and it will create a sharp shape. So now I'm going to come in with some glitter. It is that silver goldish glitter in number 16. And I'm just going to apply it where that blue stops. And I'm going to fade it up, and I'm going to make sure that I fade it back just so I can have it out evenly, through the tip of the nail. Once I do that, I'm going to come in with some more snowflakes and just apply a few of those. So now I'm going to encapsulate that nail, and I'm going to start at the cuticle area, and I'm picking up a very wet bead, and I'm just letting that product flow down. I'm pointing her finger down, and I'm going to come in on the sides and tuck them in, and it's going to keep it in place. So that product is just going to flow down. Now the reason why I apply it like this is because I do not want to create bubbles throughout this nail. I want it to be as clear as it can be. So when you tend to work the product over and over, you create more air bubbles. So when you apply your beads wet and you allow it to flow, then you have less of a chance of doing that. Now it does apply thin, so I'm going to have to go over this nail a few times to get it, to the thickness that I want. But it's worth it at the end because I want this nail to be clear. Now I'm coming back to the ring finger, and a little bit of glitter got onto that white nail bed. So that's what I'm doing. I'm coming in and just filing that away. Now once I do that, I'm going to brush away the dust, and then I'm also going to come in with my nail brush and just make sure that I have all of that nail dust free. And then I'm going to come in and encapsulate that. So it's time for my attempt at the icicle nail. So I'm going to come in, and these are the Model 1's nail forms, and I'm just going to apply it under the nail. I'm going to make sure that I really have it tucked underneath her free edge. Now once I do that, I'm going to come in and just use the back of the sticker that's on there, and I'm just going to secure that free edge part. I don't want it sliding at all. So once I have that form secure, I'm going to come in with some foil, and I barely crimped it. So the first mistake I think I made when I first did it is I crimped the mess out of it. But this time I only crimped it a little. So now I'm coming in and I'm just taking some of my cuticle oil, and I am just spreading it around that foil. This is so when you lay your acrylic, it'll be easy for the foil to come off. Now I'm going on top of that form, and I'm just trying to snuggle it under her free edge. And now I'm going to take it and I'm just going to fold it so I can have it, not hanging down and off. But on the opposite hand, when I did it again, I just tore off like the extra pieces of foil so that way it wouldn't be in my way. So now I'm coming in with my clear bead, and I'm going to reverse my brush, apply the bead, and then just let that product flow down. Now this is going to be a glass nail, and I'm going to put snowflakes on it. So again, I want the clarity to be there, and especially since I'm doing this design, I want you to be able to see it. So I want that clear acrylic very clear, so it's going on wet. Now I'm taking my brush and I am just trying to get it into the general shape of the stiletto. So now I'm going to come through and just pat the body, but I'm focusing on just getting it into that shape. Now I'm going to come in with another bead and I'm going to try to focus mainly where the free edge meets the, where the body meets the free edge. And I'm going to apply more acrylic. I'm not trying to make my strength right now. Right now I'm just applying a thin layer and, getting basically the tip down. So now I'm going to come through and I'm going to take a bead and I'm going to apply it on the body. I started at the cuticle area. I'm allowing it to come down, but when I get to the free edge where it meets the tip, I'm going to start patting that product down because I want strength there. It's not going to be my overall strength, but still right there where it meets the tip, I don't want to take the chance of it breaking. So I'm really patting that through and then I'm just going to blend it. And then once it dries, I'm going to come back to it and get it into the shape that I need it to. So I allow for it to dry and I'm going to come in and I'm going to take that foil off. So I'm just checking to make sure that it's completely dry and I'm just unfolding it. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take off the form first. So I'm going to peel back that form. And then once I kind of have it loose, I'm not going to go crazy and jerk it off because, you can kind of ruin the tip if you do that. So I'm just going to peel it back very carefully. And then I'm going to, take that form off. Then I'm going to turn her hand around and I'm just going to peel that foil back. See, when we applied the cuticle oil, it's making it easy for that foil to come right off. And like I said, again, I'm being super careful. You don't want to end up ruining this tip because it is thin. So just take your time and just peel it back. So I got it off and then there's a little bit left there. So I'm just going to take that piece off. And then as you can see, I have a little icicle nail and it looks good, but it's not in shape. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in with my scissors and kind of just, cut off that excess. And then that's getting it into the shape that I want. You don't want a lot of excess when it comes to, filing. You don't want to get this far and then just apply all this acrylic because you're going to end up having to file that towards the end. So that's why I cut that off. Now I'm going to come in and I'm going to add another clear bead and then I'm going to come in and add my snowflakes. And I'm using a mix of the big snowflakes and the little snowflakes that I used on the ring finger. Now I'm going to cap it and I'm going to do the same thing that I did on the pointer. I'm going to just, apply very wet, very thin beads, and then I'm just going to build that up. So for the thumb, I'm just going to do the full thumb white. So I'm just going to apply that bead. I'm going to walk it down and then I'll come in with my cuticle bead. So I'm coming back and I'm looking at this set, y'all, and it just does not look right to me. As you can see, I'm wetting it so I can see the clarity of the set, and we're discussing it. I'm telling her that I do not like the pinky nail, and it's a pretty glitter. I love it, and that's the problem. I swatched it and I wanted to use it so bad, but I felt like for this particular set, it just wasn't vibing with the other blues. So instead of driving myself crazy, I'm just going to take my bit and I'm going to take it off, y'all. My client, she was like, it looks okay. It looks right. It looks good. But to me, it was just bothering me so much. I was like, it's not going with the other fingers. So I had to take it off. And she doesn't care, she didn't ask for this set. This was a freestyle. So, and she's my friend too. She didn't mind me, taking this extra step and taking longer. She was okay with it. But I'm going to take it down. I had the clear base, so I'm going to just take it down to the clear base. And then I'm going to come in with that light blue color. And I'm going to apply that full color to the pinky, that full coverage to the pinky nail. And then I hope it's going to be okay. Have y'all experienced that before, when you're working on a set? Or am I just crazy? Am I the only one who does that? But, stuff like that, if I would have let her leave with that pinky like that, and I would have been going back, I would have been looking at her pictures, it would have bothered me. And I mean, it would have been okay. But like I said before, I want to make sure that whoever leaves my chair, the work that they leave with, I'm going to be happy with. Now, ultimately, the client does have to be happy. But if I know something is not working, it is not vibing, then I'm going to make that decision to change it. And if they're okay with it, then I'm going to go ahead and do that. Because, honey, I can look back on some stuff and I'm just like, why did you let her leave like that? No, ma'am, you should have fixed that. So, am I the only one? I don't know. You guys tell me. So once I have that blue down, I'm going to just let it dry, and then I will come back and I will cap it with clear. So now I'm going to move back on to my snowflake nail. And now that, I have put down my snowflakes, I have put down my clear, I have enough strength to really go in and give it its final, well, not its final shape, but give it its shape, its definition. I don't want to keep adding more clear without me doing this, because then once I come to my finish filing, it'll just be so hard to get it into the shape that I want. It's going to be a lot of extra work. So I'm going to fix that now. Now, as you can see though, the tip is kind of slanted up, and that's because when I applied my foil towards the tip, I didn't, basically push it down all the way. But that's okay, because when I sculpted these, I sculpted them kind of longer than they need to be. So when I come to finish filing, I'm going to file off that tip part anyway. So no worries, I'm going to fix it. So this is going to be my final cap, and then this nail will be done. So once I have everything capped, I'm going to come in and start my finish filing. And I always start by doing the perimeter of the nails first. I get the shape that I want, and then I come in with my bits. I use a safety bit and I go around the cuticle area, through the body, and then I smooth it out like that. So as you can see, while I'm getting them into shape, I'm just measuring that pinky and making sure that it is, measured up against the other nails. For y'all, the pinky and the thumb is the hardest thing to measure with the other nails. And like I said before in another video, you can use forms, but I feel like it's still you need to look at it and see. You need to measure it up eye to eye with the other ones to be able to see that. So now you can see that I'm filing that snowflake nail, and I'm going underneath and making sure that I have it straight from the sidewall to the tip, and that's how I'm going to end up straightening that tip out. But now they are all done. They are finished filed, and they're sharp, nice and sharp, hunty. I like that. So now I'm going to come in and just add some diamonds. And this particular client, she does not like to have a bunch of diamonds, but she does a little bit for me, because I'm always like, girl, this set needs some bling. She's like, just a little, don't go crazy, but you can add a little. So she let me add a few, and that's all I'm doing. I'm using my Ugly Duckling Stick It, what I always use, and I'm using AB, and then I'm using some of the what are these ones, those frosted blue ones, Swarovskis, but all I did was add a little bit. Now I'm coming in and I'm using my top coat, and I'm just, glossing over those nails, honey. I did pretty good with the clarity. There wasn't too many bubbles in these nails, so I was pretty happy with that. Now the icicle, though, it was good. I liked it. I feel like if I would have, maybe sprinkled like a little bit of chrome over it, something like that, you would really be able to see the definition. But one thing that is a downside to this nail is that the bottom of the nail, you can feel that ruggedness. And I told her, I said, that might drive you crazy. So she's going to get back to me and let me know. But that's it, guys. This is the finished set. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And we're getting close to Christmas, so I hope you guys have a very Merry Christmas. And thank you for watching.